Hi guys, Vino here and welcome to this Vino Plunk production. So in this video, I'm going to address a comment that I received the other day, and we're going to further delve into this whole impulsivity I've been displaying recently, and I'm going to really deep dive into it and give you guys where I think it's come from and potentially, hopefully, a solution to the issue that I've been experiencing for the last 3, 4, maybe longer than that, maybe 5 years. I do have with me a cup of tea right now. I did consider making this a TFAC, a kickback discussion or something like that, but I think this just needs to be titled as its own video. Just me deeper diving into my impulsivity and where exactly it's come from. So on the outset of this video, I'm going to reveal something that I haven't revealed on camera just yet, because I was going to wait until I got a more formal confirmation of this. But I'm potentially dealing with undiagnosed autism. So throughout my life, various friends, family and acquaintances have all said to me, there's something with you, not bad necessarily, just something with you that we can't put a finger on. Some friends online a few months ago pointed out some very direct things when it comes to autism that I was displaying. And throughout my life, as I just said, people have mentioned these various things, and that prompted me to finally get the ball rolling with a diagnosis. The only issue with that, here in the UK, it takes 3 to 4 years at this precise moment to get a diagnosis. There's a 3 to 4 year wait on getting a diagnosis for autism right now, so I'm not going to know for a particularly long time. You know, I'm 35 now, 36 in a month. I'm potentially not going to find out that I'm autistic, if I am autistic, until I'm 40 at this point. And that's an interesting, you know, to be diagnosed at that point in life with a mental condition such as autism could be an interesting thing in many different ways, and obviously that has its own set of challenges that I'm dealing with now and will deal with up until I get my potential diagnosis. If you notice throughout this video, I'm going to be saying the words potential, maybe, possibly, because I don't know, and I'm not one to say, oh, I am autistic, because I'm going to wait for a formal diagnosis. There are many things that I exhibit that could point towards me being a certain way, but I'm not the kind of person who says I am this way until I get that. I'm not necessarily a hypochondriac. I'm not someone who assumes something before I'm given the official answer. I know myself. I know if I was to make the decision, that's a higher probability I am probably on the spectrum somewhere, but it's not necessarily my decision to make. It's for a trained clinician to make that decision and then come at me with the solutions of how they can best help me cope with that going forward. There's a reason I mention the autism, because there's a lot of comorbid symptoms to autism, ADHD being one of them, depression being another, bipolar being another. There are so many comorbid conditions. Am I saying you have all of those? Hell no. I'm just saying there's a possibility that if I am diagnosed with autism, there could be other things that come with autism, and that's what comorbid means. They are often diagnosed together. I want to take a swig of tea. So, I don't think I've realised until fairly recently that my brain needs almost constant stimulation. It's something that I haven't necessarily realised, and as a result of that, I get very distracted very easily. I haven't necessarily noticed this consciously myself, but it's been pointed out to me profusely that I do get distracted quite easily and I move on from things quite quickly. This has resulted in an addiction, you suppose you could call it, to Facebook Marketplace. So a few years ago, I started going onto Facebook Marketplace and I started looking for DVDs, Blu-rays, and you may have noticed around that time I did a few videos where I bought a whole load of DVDs and Blu-rays and updated you guys on them. I was like, I've bought all the, there were these mega updates that I did. So in the back of my head, whenever I do those videos, whenever I'm browsing, on Facebook Marketplace, I'm always thinking in the back of my head, that'd make a good video, that'd make a good video, that'd make a good video, that'd make a good video. And some of the time, that thought usurps me actually wanting the item. I don't stop to think, do I want the item? Am I going to use the item? Is it just going to collect dust? Often that gets trumped by the thought in my head, that'll make a good video. And in the very back of my mind, there's always that thought, maybe this will be the video that will go viral. Maybe this is the video that will boost my channel up a few subscribers, because I do want to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's my goal at the moment. I'd love to see 1,000 subscribers. And I keep thinking, if I pivot my channel, if I go towards this, that will be the change that will change my channel, that will boost my channel. And that is a pipe dream, to be honest. It's not something that just buying something off Facebook Marketplace or buying something expensive that all of a sudden my channel is just going to get boosted for that one video and all of a sudden I'm going to get 1,000 subscribers plus overnight. That's not going to happen yet. I can't stop thinking about that. That's why I bought all the board games. That's why some of the impulsivity that I exhibit that impulsivity. I use Facebook Marketplace as a way to distract myself, in a sense. I window shop on Facebook Marketplace profusely. If I told you how often I did it, you guys would honestly be shocked. Most people have a app on their phone, a game that they gravitate towards that helps them take their mind off of general stuff. And when you suffer from a potential neurological condition such as autism, having something to help stimulate your mind helps to alleviate some of the symptoms that can come with that. Unfortunately, my brain has decided to adhere to Facebook Marketplace, and I've got into a very dangerous pattern, shall we say, of window shopping on a Facebook Marketplace, and before I know it, I've committed to several items. So the individual that commented on my video the other day is Funka Delikled. I do apologise if I pronounced that incorrectly, but you've actually commented on quite a few of my videos, and I want to give you a massive thank you for that. And please let me know how to pronounce your username in future so I can give you a proper shout out and go from there. But they basically put a comment the other day saying, I think your impulsiveness is only an issue because you become interested in quite expensive things like collector's items, drones, gaming consoles, etc. So they can all cost quite a lot of money. Maybe it's just a case of trying to be sensible with money, but keep your impulsiveness somehow. That's actually a really constructive comment, such a constructive comment. And I will say, on camera right now, I'll admit I read that wrong when I first read it, I'll be honest with you, and it came across a bit more preachy than I've just read it. That's a lovely comment, and I wish more comments like that would come onto my channels, to be honest. And they're right. They are completely right. If I can find a way to still keep my impulsiveness, be more sensible with money, they're damn right. And actually, I've been trying to think of ways to be more sensible with my impulsiveness. Maybe play games. I used to do this quite often. This sounds really stupid. I used to play GTA 5 online quite a bit. I used to go into there and have a shopping spree within inside GTA 5. I've only once paid for 2 shark cards, I think I have, and I've also subscribed to GTA Plus for a little bit. Yeah, GTA Plus, that's what it's called. And or Rockstar Plus, it may be called now. I'm not sure what it's called. They're £5 a month subscription. Everyone has a subscription nowadays. PlayStation Plus, this Plus, that Plus, Disney Plus, everything Plus. What about minus? Anyway. I've never spent money on, well, not never. I'm not the kind of person, luckily, and I'll touch wood, there's some cardboard here, that will do. I've never been the person to be sucked into microtransactions. That's where my barrier stops, because I know microtransactions can get really addicting when it comes to the line where something becomes gambling essentially. And I'm actually a person that does think microtransactions and loot boxes are a toe over the line or a foot over the line when it comes to gambling. Straight up, I do think that they are on that path to that very dangerous point, and I try my very best and have succeeded so far not to step over that line. Do I still buy the odd microtransaction? Hell, of course I do. I think everybody does buy the odd, microtransaction when they're playing a mobile game. Oh, £5 here, £2 there, £10 there, whatever it may be. I've bought a couple of shark cards on GTA Online. I have bought a couple of the, not DLC packs per se, but it was GTA 5 Premium, I think it's called, and it was an extra £10 or £15 for that, and then you got an extra million GTA bucks or whatever they call it, in-game currency. I've done that a few times. But what I used to do is I used to play Grand Theft Auto Online and used to buy things in the game to satisfy that urge to want to buy things. And that helped for a period of time. I haven't played GTA 5 or GTA Online for a while, but that helped. And that's why you see me going back to the Facebook Marketplace sort of thing. That's why you see me sell things so often, because I buy things with the thought in my mind, that'll be good for the channel, that'll be good for the channel, that'll be good for the channel. I do a video on them, and then that's it. They've served their purpose. I don't necessarily want the things myself. I buy them to show off on the channel, and then that's pretty much it. So I'm going to try my best to try and curb the impulsivity, try and control it as best I can, and as that person said, be more responsible with money. And that's what it comes down to. I do have a massive board game collection that maybe at some point I'll look at maybe paring that down a little bit. But there are some probably hard decisions that I might need to make in the next little while. But I think that person absolutely hit the nail on the head. The impulsiveness that I demonstrate is with really expensive items, drones, games consoles, collector's items, which are not cheap. And they're right. Maybe I need to find a hobby that's cheaper in a roundabout way. I have thought about things like Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, but the issue with that, it's kind of a gateway drug, as the expression goes, is once you start buying the odd booster pack for a few pound here and there, it can get very expensive very quickly. But maybe that's a way to curb my impulsivity by buying smaller, less expensive ticket items. And it has caused a systemic issue that I buy a drone for £200, say it may be, but then I want to buy a game or I want to buy something else that's £50 to £70 these days, depending on what game you're going to buy. If it's a AAA game, because a friend's gone, oh yeah, I bought that game and I want to play it as well, and I'm there going, well, I just bought a £200 drone. And quite often what I would do is, I've got a budget in mind. I budget £5 a day. I budget £5 a day to get a sandwich from the shop on the way into work that I take into work. I do also take a packed lunch as well, but I have £5 a day just for things like milk, if I need it, sandwich, a drink at work, just here and there, just bits here and there. I spend down to what £5 a day would look to quite often, and I don't allow for a buffer. And I know that's an issue. And that's something they really do need to look at, to allow a buffer in case things happen. I was at work today and a couple of colleagues walked up to each other and said, because there was a colleague retiring today, and they both walked up to each other and went, oh, see you at the pub, we'll have a couple of drinks at the pub. And I thought to myself, right now, I couldn't afford just to spontaneously go to the pub, because right now I'm right up against that budgeting £5 a day at the moment, at this precise time of the month, and I won't be able to just, spend 10, 20 quid going to the pub. That's an issue. What if a friend or a colleague or somebody says to me, hey, Vino, do you want to go for a lunch? Or do you want to go for the pub? Or do you want to do this? I can't. If my mum were to, or my sister, or anybody were to randomly message me and go, do you want to go for lunch? I'd have to go, nah, sorry, I can't afford it right now. And I want to be able to. There's nothing with my financial status at the moment, nothing stopping me having quite comfortable months and being able to do all those things. As that person just said, I just need to be more sensible with money. So on that note, no, I'm joking. I was about to say on that note, I'm going to buy this, and this. So actually on that note, I am going to revise some of the things that I was potentially going to buy next month. I was potentially going to go feet first into buying some drone stuff. That's now not going to happen. I think primarily next month I'm going to focus on buying Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I really want to buy Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. My friend Luke is very interested in getting that. I've been playing it on the PC. I'm going to get it on the PlayStation so we can both play together, and that would be really cool. I do have a pre-order for next month, and that pre-order is for the Sure Scope Volume 3 box set. I have considered cancelling that on a couple of occasions. I'm not going to cancel it. It's also my birthday next month, and I'd already intended way earlier this year, when I first pre-ordered that Sure Scope set, I'd actually pre-ordered that with the intent in my mind of going, I'll just use birthday money to buy that. And that's the intention. It's just to use birthday money for that. And I've got the Atari 50 Steelbook coming for the Switch, which is £45 just by itself. So those things by themselves are going to cost a fair amount. With the buffer of my birthday money, I mean, the Sure Scope set doesn't release until the 25th, and my birthday's on the 16th. So I've got plenty of time to get that birthday money together and then put it to one side for when the set releases comes out and I pay for it. Fandawy-dozy. I was going to next month buy a disc drive for the PlayStation 5 that I'm going to be buying, but I'll probably either get that in the new year, or I might even ask for that for Christmas. We'll see how things go. But in the meantime, I am going to be selling my disc-based PlayStation 5 4 games just to help out with this month, and I'll rebuy those down the road. And for now, I'll just go digital for a little bit until I get my feet back on the ground. But thank you very much for that individual for commenting on my video, and hopefully this explains some things that have been going on my end. Until next time, guys, please take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Ta-ra.